In this tutorial, we're looking at theming or sort of styling your form in Weavly.ai. We'll tackle two methods. The first one is about theming or styling your individual form, and the second one is creating a theme or a style that you can apply to different forms. So having an account-wide theme that you can then just apply to every new form that you create. So the first method is just theming or styling an individual form. So you can ask our AI to do styling for you. So I could ask, make all the buttons black, for example, or I could give it a specific hexadecimal code and then it will do it for me and it will apply the theme. What you can also do is give it a brand and then it will apply the branding for you. So I can ask, make this look like Coca-Cola, if I can type correctly. Might ask me for the domain to make sure that it's the right one, and then it's going to fetch imagery, so the logo, maybe a banner. That's not always the case. So if it can find like a banner visual, it will, and it will apply fonts and colors. So that's how you use the AI. Of course, you can also still do it manually, meaning there's a number of pre-made templates that you can pick out of here. You can just set the colors yourself. You can choose between background and primary, secondary for the text. So you can basically read, right? It's all in here. You can change the typography, and of course you can change the layout to the style of your form. So you could have no visual at all, the visual on the left, which you can't see because the screen is too small, but if in the preview you can see it here, and then visual on the right, or have it as a completely transparent form. And of course you can choose the specific visual, so you can either just search Unsplash. So if I want forest, for example, I can just type it in here and it will pick something for me. It could also just be a bland color, or you could just upload an image yourself and apply it to the form. You'll notice this advanced button here on the top as well. And this, as you can imagine, gives you more advanced features. So you can have completely custom CSS in here. You can have different kind of inputs. You can round your input, have underlined inputs, square inputs. The same with the buttons. You can make them more rounded or more square. The animation on the button, so you can just toggle off the animation if you want to, and then you can change the width of your form and the spacing between the various fields. And if you want to add a logo to your form, this is also where you're able to toggle the show logo, upload a specific logo, and then set the size of your logo. So that's it for styling an individual form. Now, of course, if you're building multiple forms, you want to avoid having to do this every time you create a form. So for example, if you want the form to be in your specific brand, you don't want to redo this every time. And that's why there's also account-wide themes or teams. It's sort of annoying to pronounce. So if you go to the dashboard, you see forms, you see themes here. And you can essentially create a new theme. So again, here you can import branding if you wish. So it's the same thing. I could import the Coca-Cola.com branding here and just import it, and it will create a theme for me. So you'll notice that here there is no way that you can add specific content. So we're not editing a form, we're purely editing the theme that we're going to save. So let's say that instead of having our primary color be red, we want the primary color to be black. That's also within the Coca-Cola theme, and then the text to be red. It's going to be very ugly, but let's go. Let's do it for the questions as well. There we go. So black buttons, red text, and then of course this already has a name, so it's called Coca-Cola theme. And then if you go back, you'll see it here, right? Coca-Cola theme, and I already created a Weavly theme. Now you can set the default, meaning that if I set the default to Coca-Cola and I go back to my forms, when I create a form now, by default, it's using this updated version of the Coca-Cola theme that we created. So if I go ahead and create a contact form from the templates, you can see red text, black button. And so this is how you apply a single style that you create once and then just have it ready for you whenever you create a form. And if I need to change it, I can just select here under the templates. I can select like the Weavly one, which one I created in the past, or the Coca-Cola one that we just created. So those are the two methods that you apply theming and branding in Weavly. So you can either do it on a specific form level, or you just create a theme that you can just reuse in your entire account and don't have to redo it every time manually that you create a form.